I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach.
I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach.
Did I find that I preferred the American approach? Or did I find that I preferred the Guatemalan approach?
Did I find that I preferred the American approach, or did I find that I preferred the Guatemalan approach? The Guatemalan approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach.
The Guatemalan approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Did I find that I preferred the American approach?
Did I find that I preferred the American approach? No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't find that I preferred the American approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Which approach did I prefer?
Which approach did I prefer? I preferred the Guatemalan approach.
I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Did I prefer the American approach?
Did I prefer the American approach? No.
No. Who preferred the Guatemalan approach?
Who preferred the Guatemalan approach? Me. Chang. I preferred the Guatemalan approach.
Me, AJ, right? I preferred the Guatemalan approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. I liked the way they remembered and celebrated those who had passed away.
I liked the way they remembered and celebrate those who have passed away.
Did they celebrate those who were alive?
Did they celebrate those who were alive? No, they didn't celebrate those who were alive. They celebrated those who have passed away.
No, they didn't celebrate those who were alive. They celebrated those who had passed away. Did they celebrate those who had passed away? Or those who had become rich?
Did they celebrate those who has passed away or those who has become rich? They celebrate those who has passed away.
They celebrated those who had passed away.
Passed away.
Who celebrated those who had passed away?
Who celebrate those who have passed away? Watermelon. Watermelon celebrate those who have passed away.
Guatemalans, right? Guatemalans celebrated those who had passed away.
Celebrated.
When did they celebrate those who had passed away?
When did they celebrate those who have passed away? November 1st?
On the Day of the Dead.
On the Day of
November
the Dead.
1st.
November 1st.
On the Day of the Dead, November 1st, they celebrated those who had passed away. Who celebrated?
Who celebrated? The Guatemalans.
The Guatemalans. Guatemalan families celebrated. Who did they celebrate?
Who did they celebrate? They celebrated those who have passed away.
They celebrated those who had passed away.
Passed away.
I liked that they acknowledged death instead of denying it the way Americans do.
I like that they acknowledge death instead of denying it the way Americans do.
Who liked that they acknowledged death?
Who like that they acknowledge death? Me, Chang, I like that they acknowledge death. Acknowledge.
Yeah, me,
Acknowledge.
AJ. Right, me, AJ. I liked that they acknowledged death.
Acknowledge.
Did they acknowledge money? Or did they acknowledge death?
Did they acknowledge money or did they acknowledge death? They acknowledge death.
They acknowledged death.
Acknowledge.
What did they acknowledge?
What did they acknowledge death? They acknowledge death.
Death. They acknowledged death.
Death.
Who acknowledged death?
Who acknowledged death? Watermelon.
Death. Guatemalans, right? Guatemalans acknowledged death. Did they acknowledge death or did they acknowledge money?
Did they acknowledge death or did they acknowledge money? They acknowledge death.
They acknowledged death,
Death.
instead of denying it. Who denies death?
Who deny death? Americans. American deny death.
Americans. Right? Americans deny death.
Death.
Do Guatemalans deny death?
Do Guatemalan deny death? No, not Guatemalans. Americans deny death.
No, not Guatemalans. Guatemalans don't deny death. Americans deny death.
Death.
Do I like that Americans deny death?
Do I like that Americans deny death? No, I don't. I don't like that Americans deny death. But I like that there's a life as well as death.
No, I don't. I don't like it. I don't like that Americans deny death. But I like that there is life, as well as death, in Guatemalan cemeteries.
In Guatemalan cemeteries.
I liked that.
I like that.
Did I like their cemeteries?
Did I like their cemetery? Yes, I liked their cemeteries.
Yes, I liked their cemeteries. What did I like?
What did I like? I like Guatemalan cemetery.
Their cemeteries, Guatemalan cemeteries. I liked Guatemalan cemeteries.
Mhm.
Did I like Guatemalan cemeteries or did I like Guatemalan restaurants?
Did I like Guatemalan cemeteries or did I like Guatemalan restaurants? I like Guatemalan cemeteries.
I liked Guatemalan cemeteries.
Mhm.
Whose cemeteries did I like?
Whose cemetery did I like? I like the Guatemalan cemeteries. Guatemalan.
Guatemalans, right? Guatemalan cemeteries.
Guatemalan.
I liked the Guatemalans cemeteries. Guatemalans cemeteries.
Guatemalans.
Whose cemeteries did I like? The
Whose cemeteries did I like?
Guatemalans cemeteries.
Guatemalan.
I liked the Guatemalans cemeteries.
Yes.
Guatemalans call it the Day of the Dead, but it is also a day to appreciate life.
Guatemalans call it the Day of the Dead, but it is also a day to appreciate life.
Okay, that is all for this mini story.